live on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Here are three quick stories you're seeing right now on social media. President Biden set to make an announcement on student loans today. A new poll finds 59% of Americans believe loan forgiveness will make inflation worse.
And Florida Democrat Maxwell Frost just became the first member of Gen Z to win a congressional primary.
And a new survey finds almost half of Americans are holding on to $21 billion in gift cards and store credit.
And now to our top story this morning. Right now, law enforcement officers from Ohio all the way down to Florida are on the lookout this morning after a missing person was found dead in a shallow grave in Darke County on the chicken farm that you see right here behind me. Investigators are calling this an active homicide investigation. They've identified Dean Baker and Ashley Fletcher as suspects. Warrants are out for both of them. And authorities say they are armed and dangerous and on the run this morning. Baker right now charged with tampering with evidence. Fletcher charged with having weapons under disability. To read more about this story and others like it, head to Dayton247now.com.
This morning, we now know the name of the person whose body was found at Shiloh Court Apartments in Trotwood. The coroner identified the body of Elijah Stallings, but couldn't say how old he was or where he was from. Before police found Stallings, they discovered blood in and around a car in the area. If you have any information that could help police, call Crime Stoppers at 937-222-STOP. Also, we've got a link on our website to send an anonymous tip.
Right now, we're waking up to a pretty quiet start to the morning out there. We do have a little bit more of an active pattern picking up by the end of the week, but for the most part, it is not as foggy that it has been the last few days, at least. Right now, temperatures are sitting in the lower 60s. We got dew points in the mid 50s too, so it's not too uncomfortable either. A little bit of a breeze out there, nice clear skies also expected this morning. You can see that even on satellite and radar too. There's some cloud cover up into the Mansfield area, but that's about the only cloud cover even across the state as well. Starting our morning off this morning in the lower 60s. I think fog will be a bit more patchy than it was widespread the last few days, but once we hit this afternoon, we are back in the lower to mid 80s, so it is getting a lot warmer for you than it was yesterday. At least we'll feel an increase in that humidity over the next few days too. Right now, a live look at our ODOT cameras right now. As you can see, everything's moving along nicely today with no major visibility concerns at this hour.
Columbus City school students are returning to class this morning, but they'll be doing it remotely as teacher strike enters its third day. Many parents say they won't let their kids cross the picket line by logging on. A federal mediator now calling the district and teachers union back to the table for a meeting today at 1 in the afternoon. This after Monday's emergency meeting proved fruitless after over 4 hours of discussion. The strike centers around three main points: working heat and AC in every school, permanent art, music, and gym teachers in smaller classes. We will continue to bring you updates on that meeting. To get breaking news push alerts sent directly to your phone, download the Dayton 24/7 Now app in Google Play and Apple App Stores. All you gotta do is scan the QR code right there on your screen. And don't forget, Dayton 24/7 Now is committed to bringing you news as it happens.
We now know this morning experts are now predicting this year's flu season to be the worst it has been in years. Australia is coming out of a bad flu season right now, where the age group most impacted was 9 and below. Since COVID-19 precautions have relaxed, doctors fear children's immunity to the flu will be lower than normal.
Typically, the trend is what happens down in Australia tends to work its way up. And then as people start to travel more, which they are now, the spread of this is going to be pretty significant, we're expecting.
Doctors are right now urging you to get the COVID-19 vaccine if you haven't already. And if you feel sick, contact your doctor. You'll more than likely be tested for both COVID-19 and the flu.
All right, let's take a look at who's going back to school today. Bethel Local Schools is heading back. Springfield's heading back for grades 1 through 9. And Troy City Schools heading back as well.
Our time right now, 5:04. Don't forget your headlines are scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Gas prices on the decline for 10 straight weeks. I'm Ryan Smith in Washington. Analysts now warning, though, of price hikes in other energy sectors. The potential spike coming in your electricity bill. Coming up.
And a letter from the National Archives posted online details documents found at Mar-a-Lago, the timeline of that investigation with the DOJ.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
This morning, Troy City schools returning to the classroom with several new additions to the district.
Dayton 24/7 Now's Alex King is live outside of Troy High School. And Alex, who are they welcoming this year?
Yeah, Troy City schools are welcoming 24 new teachers. We've heard several schools throughout the summer have been really stressing to find teachers and even substitutes. However, this school is going into the year prepared. The district says this is a nice mix of first-year teachers and teachers with experience in other districts.
Now, Alex, we've actually seen some busing issues in other local districts. So what is Troy doing to make sure things run smoothly this year?
Yeah, so when you head to the Troy City Schools website, the top piece of information you'll see is a school bus route tracker, or finder, I guess I should say. Families can search their address and find the bus that will pick their students up. And the school district just wants to remind parents to be aware there may be some delays as routes are finalized and settled during the first few weeks of school. You'll find details on our website, Dayton247now.com. And stick with us because we're going to talk about some more changes that families can expect for the school year here in Troy. Live in Troy, Alex King, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
We're waking up this morning to a little bit of a chillier start to the day. If the kids are headed back to school this morning, they'll probably need a little light jacket, at least early on. We're in the lower 60s, which so far has been the coolest morning that we've had in the Miami Valley. Dew points in the mid-50s, too, means it's actually feeling a little bit less humid, a little drier out there to kick off this morning. We don't have a lot on satellite and radar besides some pretty quiet conditions at this hour. Bus stop forecast today, as we just saw, we're in the lower 60s right now, and we'll finish the end of the day off today, seeing those lower 80s back. The good news is, too, although the last few mornings have been incredibly foggy, today we're not super concerned about that, too. Our sunrise is around 6:57 this morning, so a little bit closer to that 7 a.m. hour for that sunrise time. Mid-50s in Greenville, we got upper 50s in Wapak, 60 degrees in Dayton and in Troy. Once we hit this afternoon, most of our air temperatures warm into the mid to upper 70s and ultimately finish the day off today in the mid-80s. But we see a little bit of a pop-up cloud here or there. We stay dry otherwise and likely just sunny across the board. And then we're copying and pasting today's forecast into tomorrow's, being when we see a little bit maybe higher humidity levels and a little more of that higher temperature as well. But once we move into Friday morning does look like a small chance for some pop-up showers are expected. Then we dry out through the rest of the weekend and we heat up before we see that cold front that eventually will arrive Sunday night into Monday and Tuesday. We're in those upper 80s on Sunday and Monday, expecting things to feel very, very uncomfortable once we head through the end of the weekend. But just be aware that those storm chances move in and eventually will help out a little bit more when it comes to keeping things feeling cooler by the end of next week. Right now, a live look at 35 and Steve Whalen this morning. It's quiet out there. Not many cars, as you can see on the highway right now, so no issues on that front either. We don't have any sort of concerns on our maps, just active construction zones, so just be aware that that's still an active thing that is ongoing for us as well.
This morning, we're getting a new look at what former President Trump may have taken with him to Mar-a-Lago. Commenter John Solomon posted a letter from the National Archives. According to that letter, the archives retrieved more than 100 documents back in January. The letter confirms it included some of the government's most classified information. The archives then gave those materials to the DOJ to determine if its handlings could have put the country at risk. Solomon is a writer who is also serving as a Trump liaison to the archives to review papers from his presidency.
Now, the streak of falling fuel costs could be short-lived. Crude oil prices rose for the first time in months. Natural gas prices are also climbing.
Dayton 24/7 Now's National Desk Ryan Smith tracking the fallout and the impact on future inflation.
Just as those gas prices give us some relief, many Americans now being hit with rapidly rising electric bills, worsening that blow of inflation. One analyst telling me we could see a major price hike this winter when it comes to heating homes. Natural gas prices in Europe reaching a record high this week, surging nearly 10 times more than 1 year ago. And that's impacting the cost and future energy stability right here in the U.S. too. Industry analyst Andy Lippow warns of higher energy bills this winter.
Unfortunately, this winter, they're going to be paying more for their natural gas and electricity utilities as the price of energy, not only here in the United States, but around the world, is going up.
Heat waves across the U.S. forcing consumers to crank up that AC. Americans are expected to spend $540 on electric bills over the summer, 20% more than last year.
If you can control how much you use, ultimately that controls your price. That's the best way to save some money right now.
And as temps drop this fall and winter, the natural gas spike will signal a sticker shock for families, a leading fuel source for the electricity grid.
When I look at the doubling of natural gas futures compared to a year ago, that means I'm going to be paying about 40% more to heat my home this winter compared to last year.
One bright spot in the energy industry, gas prices are on the decline, dropping for 10 straight weeks.
Gasoline prices take center stage because you see the price at every corner as you're driving your car around the neighborhoods. But natural gas and electricity prices are buried somewhere in your utility bill.
And if you do get hit with a big electric bill, always smart to talk with your provider about a potential payment plan or see if you can lock in a utility rate, which can help stabilize what you pay month to month. In Washington, Ryan Smith for the National Desk.
This morning, we are hearing from Dr. Anthony Fauci for the first time about his plans for retirement. Fauci says he'll leave the federal government in December. Some of Fauci's Republican critics have suggested he's looking to dodge investigations into the handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. However, Fauci refutes it.
Oh, Neil, not at all. Not even a little bit. I mean, I have nothing to hide and I can defend everything I've done and every decision I've made. So I'm not afraid of that at all. That didn't even come in as a minor consideration.
Now, Fauci says he'd be open to testifying as a private citizen if he were asked to do so.
Our time right now is 5:15. Nothing awful about these waffles. How you need to start your day, and just ahead, the history of the classic breakfast.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
This morning, we are waking up to a little bit of a cooler start to the day out there. It's time to meet our dog of the day, though. This is Tyson, sending to us from Dylan and Carly. They live in Arcanum together. Very, very serious face here, but I know we're probably outside enjoying some sunshine. It does look like there, too. Maybe seeing the squirrels out there. That's always the look I get from Ruby when she sees something in her backyard. Now, we have the mid-80s by the end of the day today, so it will be another nice day to get outdoors. Yesterday seemed a bit warmer, at least than we felt the last few days. So that trend is going to continue as we head into the rest of our week. We're back in the mid-80s once we hit Friday, seeing a chance for some showers. And then by Saturday and Sunday, we're in the mid to upper 80s and nearing 90-degree heat Sunday into Monday. So it gets warmer. It gets way more uncomfortable for us. Monday and Tuesday, though, bring us our next chance for some thunderstorm activity, which ultimately will drop temperatures back by next week. Right now, no changes in that pollen count, but the air quality is still at the moderate level because we are actively seeing some pollution, some of that Saharan dust in the atmosphere. So that's also leading to a little bit of a dropped air quality out there. Right now, a live look at 35 in Smithville Road right now. It is a pretty easy morning out there. There's a decent amount of cars to kick off this morning for most of us, but otherwise we're really not seeing a huge issue to start off our day. I'll let you know if any new issues do develop through the rest of the morning, but so far everything looks like it's good to go.
Today's number of the day touches on the recent FBI raid of former President Donald Trump's Florida home. 59% of voters believe President Joe Biden knew about the raid in Mar-a-Lago in advance. The Rasmussen survey found 23% think it is unlikely that he knew, while 17% are unsure. The survey also found 37% think Biden himself ordered the raid.
Well, this morning we are starting a new way to spotlight those in our community who are making a big difference.
We're calling it Hometown Heroes, and Adam Arrow introduces you to someone that's made a major impact on a local family's life.
We are kicking off our Hometown Heroes segment highlighting a Clark County Sheriff's deputy. Jim Lyle nominated his brother Sean Lyle, and he specifically highlighted a story shared by Danielle Hudson Finch. She says her ex-husband passed away in 2015 when her daughter Trinity was 12. That same year, she met Deputy Lyle, who was serving as a DARE officer. He became someone Finch says was always there for Trinity, and Trinity greatly looked up to him. So fast forward 6 years, and this picture you see here is at Trinity's high school graduation. Deputy Lyle had promised to be there, and he was. Now, part of that Facebook post reads, quote, "I don't think Deputy Sean will ever know how much that not only meant to her, but how much it meant to me and my family. He's an incredible human, a wonderful man, an outstanding DARE officer, and if there was anything that warrants an award for being an outstanding human, it would be an award for Deputy Sean." So thank you, Deputy Lyle, for your service and for being our first hometown hero.
And if you have someone that you think is a hometown hero, please share their story with us. To nominate a hero, you can open up our Dayton 24/7 Now app, click on Explore, and then press chime in.
All we need is a picture or video of your hero and a description of why they're a hometown hero. The segments will air Wednesday and Friday mornings right here. Well, no need to waffle over what to eat. Have a waffle. Today's National Waffle Day. The first waffle iron was patented 153 years ago today. The breakfast treat was around for hundreds of years before that. The first known recipe dates back to the 14th century. A husband in France wrote it out for his wife. To make a waffle, all you need is leavened batter or dough and 2 patterned plates to cook it. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm going waffles, probably my favorite out of pancakes, French toast, and waffles. Well, I would probably order
Oh,
waffle.
100%. I agree. Waffles are like king. Now, favorite waffle like place? Is there like I love Belgian waffles, so like the big, thick, fluffy ones.
The Blueberry Cafe.
Oh, yes.
Their waffles like eating like a cake, like a piece of cake. It's so good.
I mean, I do love myself a good all-star breakfast from Waffle House with that waffle at the beginning.
Waffle House has a line every single time Jordan and I try to go. We used to go in the morning sometimes. Right when he first moved, right, like literally before the shows and stuff at like midnight, and we were always like waiting in line there. So they do a banging business over there.
They do.
But when you got waffles like that,
I mean,
and their hash browns are pretty good too.
Those bowls, those hash brown bowls.
Oh, yes. Oh, they're so good.
I'm realizing right now I did not pack enough for breakfast.
Yeah.
I just ate my breakfast,
Well,
so I'm good for a while.
we call it Waffle Home in our house because it's not a house, it's a home. But it's open. We can go.
Well, right now?
Waffle House?
Yeah, and they're 24 hours.
Oh, all right, let's go.
Yeah, someone else needs to anchor.
We'll just.
I'm going.
Fill it in.
We always did smothered. There's smothered hash browns there.
We're going to run reruns of Alf. We're going to Waffle
We're just
House.
all drooling and dreaming of Waffle House right now. The poor producer's like, just shut up and move on with life.
Well, he probably would go with us. He probably run with us.
He said he's in.
All right,
he's in.
well,
Let's go.
Our time right now, 5:24.
Wrap it up.
Still to come.
Troy City Schools returning to the classroom this morning. Coming up next, we're going to talk about changes that families should keep in mind as we head into the school year.
And a big decision for President Biden. Student loans in the spotlight at the White House. How much is at stake and what it'll mean for the midterm elections?
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
In today's Tech Bites, Congress is investigating the claims of a Twitter whistleblower. Peter Zatko, Twitter's former security chief, said the company deceived regulators about its lax security and fake accounts. The complaint could benefit Elon Musk, who's trying to drop his deal to buy Twitter. And Sony has unveiled its new wireless controller. The DualSense Edge works with PlayStation 5. It's described as being ultra customizable and includes swappable back buttons and stick caps. Sony has not announced when it will be available or how much it will cost. And Instagram is testing a new feature called Candid Challenges. It resembles Be Real, an app noted for its focus on more authentic posts. Users would get a daily prompt at a different time each day to take and share a real-time image within 2 minutes. I don't know, it sounds like a lot. I don't know if I can picture myself doing this. Those are your Tech Bites.
I assumed dust always stayed put. Turns out it can be on the move. We were breathing that day and night. That's when we started using Swiffer. In just a few minutes, Duster captures dust before it gets airborne. It traps and locks dust in one swipe. Yes.
For our floors, Sweeper's heavy-duty cloths easily trap dust, dirt, and hair, locking it in. See you, dust.
And Swiffer partners with the American Lung Association to support clean air.
Girls Trip. Get fast relief of your worst allergy symptoms, including nasal congestion, with powerful Claritin D, so you can breathe better, feel the clarity, and make today the most wonderful time of the year. Claritin D.
These used cars look the same, but Carfax can show how damage history affects the value.
Your damage has always been visible.
We're twins. Stop overpaying. Shop at the all-new Carfax.com.
Identical twins.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Here's three quick stories you're seeing right now on social media. The DOJ launching a civil rights investigation into the conduct of 3 Arkansas police officers. The officers were caught on video over the weekend kicking and punching a suspect while he was on the ground.
And families in Uvalde, Texas, now filing a class action lawsuit for $27 billion. The suit goes after multiple law enforcement agencies who were on the scene during the massacre.
NASA gave the go-ahead for its first launch to the moon since the 1960s. Artemis 1 is expected to take off next Monday. Now to our top story this morning, a live look at the White House. President Biden expected to forgive thousands of dollars in student loans. Multiple sources now saying that the plan would likely forgive $10,000 for borrowers making less than $125,000. The halt on repayments could possibly be extended through midterm elections. This would be the 5th pandemic-related pause. Frozen payments are set to end in a week. The U.S. has $1.6 trillion worth of student loan debt right now.
And this morning, students are heading back to school in Troy, and there's a few changes families do need to know about.
Dayton 24/7 Now's Alex King is live outside Troy High School. And Alex, what do families need to know about school lunches?
Well, during the pandemic, the USDA issued waivers to child nutrition programs, allowing schools to offer free meals. And Troy City Schools took advantage of those waivers by providing free breakfast and lunch to its students. But these waivers actually expired at the end of June, and now child nutrition programs will return to pre-pandemic operations.
Now, how can families get help paying for meals if it's still needed?
Well, this leaves many families feeling vulnerable, of course, but Troy City Schools asks parents to complete its free reduced meal application to help with negative meal balances and unpaid school fees. The application is currently available on the Troy City Schools website, and you can submit it online, or you can submit it into any print it and submit it to any Troy school. And the district suggests submitting it as soon as possible. You'll find details on our website, Dayton247now.com. And stick with us because the school is making some additions to this school year. I'll let you know coming up. Live in Troy, Alex King, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
And this morning, doctors are now urging parents to get their kids the flu vaccine. Cases are already popping up across the Miami Valley. Experts are predicting this year's flu season to be the worst it's been in years. The U.S. bases its trends on Australia. Now, Australia's flu season was severe. Doctors are also urging you to get your COVID-19 vaccine.
This morning, we are waking up to a pretty easy start to the day so far. No major fog concerns out there, especially compared to yesterday. It is patchy in spots, but not super dense for others. We're in the lower 60s, dew points in the mid 50s. We have a bit of a breeze this morning, too. Right now on radar, it's nice and quiet. There's not much ongoing out there either. And we're kicking this morning off in the lower 60s before we head into this afternoon with the lower to mid 80s expected. We are expecting those clear skies, though, essentially all day long today. So no issues on that front. Most of us are going to sit very comfortable. And honestly, those mid to upper 50s and lower 60s are going to sit very nice this morning and kind of refreshing, too. So it's definitely not feeling too bad out there as we kick off our morning. Right now, we'll look at our commute, our area roadways, a live look out there. It is looking good, too. We don't have any, again, major fog concerns like we saw the last few days. So no issues on that front for you as you get ready to head out the door today. Expect drive times up to speed.
This morning, Syria waking up to damage after President Biden ordered airstrikes against Iranian-backed groups in the region. These airstrikes targeted facilities used by groups affiliated with Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Now, this comes just a week after several rockets struck near a Syrian military base housing U.S. troops. That attack left no damage.
A live look now at Kalamazoo, Michigan. 2 men could soon be facing life in prison after a federal jury yesterday convicted them of conspiring to kidnap and kill Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer back in 2020. Prosecutors say Adam Fox and Barry Croft wanted to set off a civil war. The kidnapping of Governor Whitmer was part of the plan. The defense claimed that the FBI entrapped their clients. This is the second time Fox and Croft were tried. The first one ended in a mistrial for Fox and Croft and the acquittal for 2 other defendants.
We're learning this morning a 21-year-old man is now charged with murder. Prosecutors say Eric Bridges stabbed Samuel G. Osborne on the front porch of a home on Chelsea Avenue during an argument. Bridges now faces 2 counts of murder, felonious assault with a deadly weapon, and felonious assault causing serious physical harm. And a live look this morning at the Miami Valley Jail website. You can see Bridges is right now sitting in the Montgomery County Jail on $1 million bond.
This morning, we're learning why Stephen Marlowe was taken off probation. Right now, he's accused of killing 4 people in Butler Township. In February of 2020, Marlowe was convicted of burglary and sentenced up to 5 years probation. He only served 2, and officials tell us that's because he was compliant, in good standing, paid his court fees, took his medications, and was employed. This Friday, he's due in court.
And a Springfield hockey rink will be hosting a face-off between Ohio first responders. All proceeds benefit the Deputy Matthew Yates Memorial Scholarship, named after Deputy Yates, who was killed while responding to a shooting back in July. The NTPRD Chiller Ice Rink will host the Hockey Helping Heroes initiative of the First Responder Face-Off Foundation on October 8th. The charity hockey game is between the Dayton Fire hockey team and the FOP 109 Warthogs team from Wood County. Puck drop for the game is slated for 4:45.
Happening today, Family Resource Center is hosting a grand opening and open house at their new Troy campus. Everyone's encouraged to attend the tour and facility and then learn more about the mental health and substance abuse services. They have outpatient counseling via telehealth, case management, and transitional age youth services available. This expansion was possible because of a $5 million grant from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Our time right now, 5:35. Don't forget your headlines are scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Bengals making a big move on Tuesday. Who's signing up for 1 more year and how much it'll cost the AFC champs?
Snapchat users eligible for some money. What state the social media giant has agreed to pay, and the class action lawsuit that's turning heads.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
This morning we're waking up to a pretty easy, pretty comfortable start to the day out there too. Right now most of our air temperatures are in the upper 50s and lower 60s. But once we hit this afternoon, most of us are back in the mid to lower 80s. So it's getting a little bit warmer out there today. By lunchtime, upper 70s. Some of us will be a little more warm and humid this evening than we felt the last few days too. Staying dry though today and then into tomorrow. We do start to feel that humidity ramp up a bit. By Friday, we're tracking our next chance for a little bit of rain showers as well. Today, I don't think we're going to be completely overcast at any point, but we could see a little bit more of that cloud cover develop at times, especially through the late afternoon and early evening hours. And then once we move into the next few days after this, we're actually going to trend a little bit more above normal. So right now, the normal highs are 85 degrees. Or 84 at least. Most of us today in the lower to mid 80s, and then by the weekend we're talking potentially back in the 90s. It does stay a little cooler though through the next few mornings, and that sun sets tonight at 8:20. So it does look like it will get a little darker about 2 minutes earlier than it did yesterday.
Our time right now is 5:39. A roller coaster ride for the Cincinnati Reds. How the Redlegs fared in Philadelphia.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
This morning, the Community Blood Center is right now rewarding donors with treats, gifts, and prizes in hopes of avoiding the typical summer shortage. Anyone who registers to donate by this Friday will get free cotton candy and a $10 gift card for Speedway Gas or Kroger. If you register to donate by Saturday, you'll be entered into the grand prize drawing to win 4 tickets to the Reds versus Rockies game, plus $100 in concession stand gift cards. Everyone who registers this week to donate with CBC is entered in a final drawing. The winner will then get to choose from a PlayStation 5 game console, a Solo stove, a Yeti Hopper backpack cooler, or a Ring Video Doorbell Pro. To register to donate or get more information, visit DonorTime.com. You see it right there on your TV screen. That link is also in the story on our website, Dayton247now.com.
All right, live look at the Cincinnati Bengals Twitter page. This is Jesse Bates. The Bengals announcing that safeties finally signed a designated franchise tag with the team. A captain of last year's AFC Championship team, Bates re-signed Tuesday to a 1-year deal with a reported salary of $13 million. Now to that other team in Cincinnati, the disappointing one. Yep, it was a roller coaster ride for the Reds last night as they were in Philadelphia to take on the Phillies. The Reds got on board first thanks to an RBI single by Mike Moustakas. Cincinnati led 3-0, but the Phillies came right back in the 6th to grab a 4-3 lead. Top of the 9th, TJ Friedel plays hero as he gives the Reds a 6-5 lead with 2 out, triple to score. However, in true Reds fashion, Phillies get 2 in the bottom of the 9th and beat the Reds 7-6. The two teams play Game 3 of the series tonight at 7:05 on Bally Sports.
Well, golf fans making their way to the Gem City tomorrow kicks off the United States Senior Open at NCR Country Club. Now, here's a look at the USGA.org. It reads up close with the legends at the Senior Women's Open. Golf legend Annika Saranastam. Okay, seriously, I am so terrible with names. Signing an autograph for a young golfer you see right there. The autograph or practice rounds continue today with the tournament beginning tomorrow and stretching to Sunday.
And the USGA selecting one of Dayton's own to the Team USA on Tuesday. Austin Greaser was one of 3 golfers picked for the 2022 World Amateur Team Championship, which will take place in Paris, France from August 31st to September 3rd. Greaser, a Vandalia Butler grad, was runner-up last year at the U.S. Amateur Championship. And you know what? Fellow Butler grad, proud of him. That's some good stuff. I mean, he's been a great player.
Jordan is geeking out about this. Yesterday, he goes, "Did you know that we're having a women's PGA tour come to Kettering?" I said, "No."
But it's pretty, it's incredible. The NCR
He's like, "I'm
Country
buying
Club
tickets."
is huge.
Yeah,
Gorgeous.
he was like,
It
I'm
is
like,
beautiful.
"Well, I'm not going to go sit with you on Saturday, but you
No,
can
he's
go."
going.
I think he might actually. He was like, "It's only $20, $30 or something a ticket." So things like that excite him, and I was like, "Okay, bye."
No, but it is exciting to have something that big here in the Miami Valley.
To people at
Sorry,
golf,
I didn't mean to
yes,
cut you
but
off. Yeah.
I'm like, he was like, "This is amazing."
Yeah.
So
Ask him, how do you watch golf on TV without getting bored?
I'm not going to
When
lie,
I walked
I'm
home-
not a golfer.
Not at all. Negative 0%. But yesterday when I walked in the house, he was watching the women's PGA Tour on TV. Like, just like, great swing. I'm like,
I will say, if you ever want to feel better about yourself, hand me a golf club and send me out to the course.
Yeah, no
'cause
kidding.
It is a massacre.
My
It is-
husband's the
it's
same
terrible.
way. We tried it once, and it was like...
I tied him in putt-putt once, I will say. And he's a pretty golfer. And I was like,
putt-putt.
I know. Well, I got him. He was a little
Wow.
mad. He had to buy me some dinner after that.
He can't show his face around Young's Dairy ever again, let me tell you. Hey.
That's really funny, actually.
Well, I mean, if you are looking forward to going out this weekend, it will be pretty nice out there, too. We have some clear skies right now, and this weekend gets a little hotter, a little more humid, though, so you're definitely going to notice that. Right now, temperatures are sitting in the lower 60s, some of us in the mid-50s with those dew points, and we have a bit of a breeze, but those clear skies do stick around this morning, too. Nothing on satellite and radar to bring to your attention. It's one of those mornings, again, where if you're at the bus stop, the lower 60s might feel a little chillier, and we finish the day off today in the mid-80s. We're seeing that sunshine across the board almost all day long today as well. Mid to upper 50s, those lower 60s expected. I mean, it's a little cooler out there right now than it was yesterday, so you might notice that difference in the atmosphere too. Once we hit this afternoon, though, we're in the upper 70s and lower 80s again, so it is going to get a little bit warmer through today and then even warmer through tomorrow too. And then by the end of the week, we're going to end up seeing an increased chance for what could be a little bit of light rain through the early part of your Friday. So we have an area of high pressure that's here today into Thursday into early Friday morning before we end up seeing those quick showers move through the Friday morning commute, maybe an isolated shower through Friday afternoon as well. It looks like the next few days stay relatively mild temperature-wise, but once we hit Saturday, Sunday into Monday, we're dry this weekend. Golf should be good. A little hot, a little humid. You probably need to pack extra water, but by Monday and Tuesday, that's when we're going to see our next round of rain and storms. That will hopefully drop the humidity level and some of those temperatures as well. Right now, a live look at 35 in South Perry Street right now. As you can see, everything is moving along nicely today. We don't have any reports of issues, slow moving traffic, anything of the sorts. Everything looks good to go. No new or construction alerts to bring to your attention either, so no concerns on that front either.
5:47 is our time right now, covering up some bad ink while paying tribute to your furry friend. Those are some good ones. The contest you can now enter to win an unforgettable tattoo experience.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
In this morning's GMA First Look, mystery pet illness. Dozens of dogs suddenly falling ill in Michigan, like this 10-month-old Labrador Retriever, Smokey.
He started getting more sick. He started to take a sharp turn down and started getting the vomiting was become more and more. He stopped eating and then wouldn't drink anything.
So far, there have been at least 30 reported deaths. State officials now investigating if it may be a new strain of canine parvovirus, which is highly contagious and spread from dog to dog by direct contact.
A portion of them have tested positive for parvovirus. We still have additional tests that are pending. That's where we are right now, but we are still very early on in this investigation.
We'll have more on the warning signs to look out for and the steps you can take now to keep your pet healthy. Coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Mola Lengi, ABC News.
There's a different way to treat HIV. It's every other month injectable Cabenuva. For adults who are undetectable, Cabenuva is the only complete HIV treatment you can get every other month.
Cabenuva helps keep me undetectable. It's 2 injections given by my healthcare provider every other month.
It's one less thing to think about while traveling.
HIV pills aren't on my mind. A quick change in my plans is no big deal.
Don't receive Cabenuva if you're allergic to its ingredients or taking certain medicines which may interact with Cabenuva. Serious side effects include allergic reactions, post-injection reactions, liver problems, and depression. If you have a rash and other allergic reaction symptoms, stop Cabenuva and get medical help right away. Tell your doctor if you have liver problems or mental health concerns, and if you are pregnant, breastfeeding, or considering pregnancy. Some of the most common side effects include injection site reactions, fever, and tiredness. If you switch to Cabenuva, attend all treatment appointments.
Every other month, and I'm good to go.
Ask your doctor about every other month.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Live from the Watson's weather patio this morning. It's actually pretty chilly out here right now, so maybe the kind of day that you start off with a light jacket on. Once we hit this afternoon, though, temperatures do warm well beyond these lower 60s. We're seeing clear skies out here right now. The moon actually looks super full, so if you're out right now and you want to get a peek out the window, it's actually really cool to see. Very, very thin little sliver of the moon out here right now. Temperatures by the end of the day today, though, warm well beyond where we're at right now. It's actually a little cooler this morning than it has been all week long, too. Mid-50s in our northern counties, lower 60s in other spots, and once we hit the end of the day today, we are heading right back into the mid to upper 70s and lower 80s. Some of us could even potentially sit in the mid 80s at times, which will be some of the warmest air we felt in a few weeks now, too. Once we hit the end of the day today, most of us will see clear skies too. A few passing clouds can't be ruled out, but we're not talking a completely overcast day. By the end of the week, our next weather maker builds in, though, and we do see our next chance for some rain and maybe even a few thunderstorms heading into next week as well. Coming up, I'll have all the details on a little bit more of an active forecast for you.
This morning, a former employee is now accusing Twitter of having major security issues and being mismanaged. In a disclosure the whistleblower sent to Congress, it alleges Twitter staffers have access to sensitive information without proper oversight. Also, according to the document, Twitter doesn't delete user data after accounts are canceled. Twitter also released a statement saying privacy and security are among its prime priorities.
Snapchat users in Illinois could be eligible for some money. Snap Inc. has agreed to pay $35 million to settle a class action lawsuit. The plaintiffs accuse Snapchat of using its photo filters to scan a person's facial features and collect biometric data without consent. That's a violation of Illinois' Biometric Information Privacy Act. Any Illinois resident who used the feature between November 17th of 2015 and now could be eligible for part of the settlement, but they'd have to submit a claim by November 5th. The settlement still needs to be approved by a district court.
Apple is helping do-it-yourselfers fix computer issues. The computer giant's self-service repair will be available beginning today for MacBook Air and MacBook Pro notebooks. A support website has been set up for customers to get repair manuals, genuine Apple parts, and tools from the Apple self-service repair store.
The Japanese government is trying to get its younger population to drink more alcohol. Since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, the country's liquor tax revenues have dropped due to, in part, to less sales at bars and other establishments. And this is a live look at Tokyo this morning. Japanese officials have launched the Sake Viva campaign for ideas to get more people to drink up. Contestants have until September 9th to submit applications. The winning plan will be backed and commercialized. Not everyone is on board, though. Some people have commented on social media that encouraging people to drink could lead to problems down the road. You don't say.
Interesting. Well, do you have a tattoo regret? Nope, sure don't. If so, though, how about making up for it with one you're likely going to cherish forever? That's a tattoo of your dog. Online pet product retailer BarkBox is going to pay you to do it. The company kicked off its free tattoo contest last week. 100 lucky dog owners are going to be now selected. To enter, go to the BarkBox website, upload a picture of your dog, and explain why you deserve the prize. The contest closes on September 2nd. Winners will be notified by September 6th. So, would you get a tattoo of your furry friend?
No.
Probably not. I love her to death, but I just don't care that much. About tattoos, I think.
What about
is more what I
Scarlett?
meant than the dog.
No, here's the thing. So, like, our two dogs that we had for like 13 years, passed away within 5 months of each other just before I had Roman. And I thought about it, but then I was like, no, I'm good.
I'm good. I mean, I love Cooper to death. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I don't have any tattoos, and I don't really have.
I've got 7 tattoos, so like I'm not worried about like the tattoo thing, and I plan on getting more in my life. Like like the teardrop on my cheek, maybe all the spider web on my neck.
Well, I know that most years are
chain link.
most years are prison tats anyway.
Yeah, I mean they're mostly prison tats from youngsters. So it just matches.
Do you have any tattoos?
I have one, yeah. It is a paw print, but from OU, but also I guess it could be the dog related. Oh, he doesn't watch.
Okay.
Max, don't clip this. Put that on the web, though. My dad can't know.
Your dad can't know?
I was about to be like, why are we telling this to the viewers right now?
Oh, that's fun. That's exciting.
Daddy doesn't know.
Well, Dad's going to know now.
It's been long enough now. Almost like 4 years.
I mean, how old are you?
I know.
I think we're okay.
What's he going to do? He's got several tattoos himself.
Well, he is paying for your wedding. I'm going to throw that out there.
I've made sure I got a dress that covers it.
All right, there you go.
Secrets revealed. You never know.
You never know what you're going to hear here on the morning show.
No.
He asked.
I would have lied. If Dad doesn't know, you lie.
I forgot.
Okay, I've got to come clear.
Come clear?
Yeah.
You have one too?
Come clear.
I do. Sorry.
Live, laugh, love.
Do you have
I've got Bob Ross.
tat-
Got Bob Ross on my chest.
Ew.
The hair is
got the
natural.
chia pet?
Yes.
That's so gross.
We got a lot more coming up on ABC 22 in the morning at 6 a.m.
So students within the Troy City School District are going to be heading back to school, starting the school year. And there are some new additions and ways that families can prepare for this return coming up next.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Don't forget the taco meat.
Live on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Here are three quick stories you're seeing right now on social media. President Biden set to make an announcement on student loans today. A new poll finds 59% of Americans believe loan forgiveness will make inflation worse.
And Florida Democrat Maxwell Frost just became the first member of Gen Z to win a congressional primary.
And a new survey finds almost half of Americans are holding on to $21 billion in gift cards and store credit.
And now to our top story this morning. Troy City Schools right now returning to the classroom with several new additions to the district.
Dayton 24/7 Now's Alex King is live outside of Troy High School. And Alex, who are they welcoming back this year?
Well, Troy City Schools are welcoming 24 new teachers. We've heard several schools throughout the summer really stressing the lack of teachers and substitutes and searching for additional substitutes, but they are going in prepared. The district says this is a nice mix of first-year teachers as well as teachers with experience in different districts.
Now, Alex, we've obviously seen some busing issues in the past with other districts. So what is Troy doing to make sure things are running smoothly?
Absolutely. So when you head to the Troy City Schools website, the top piece of information you'll see is a school bus route finder. Families can search their address and find the bus that will pick their students up. The school district just wants to remind parents to be aware that there will be some delays with the bus schedule, the bus route over these next couple of weeks as they kind of find their feet with the bus schedule. And stick with us because we're going to talk more about some changes that parents should know this year. Live in Troy, Alex King, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Columbus City School students are returning to class this morning, but they'll be doing it remotely as the teacher strike enters its third day. Many parents say they won't let their kids cross the picket line by logging on. A federal mediator now calling the district and teachers union back to the table for a meeting today at 1 in the afternoon. Now, this after Monday's emergency meeting proved fruitless after over 4 hours of discussion. The strike centers around three main points: working heat and AC in every building, permanent art and music in gym teachers, and smaller class sizes. Now, we will continue to bring you updates on that meeting. To get breaking news push alerts sent directly to your phone, download the Dayton 24/7 Now app in Google Play and Apple App Stores. All you got to do is scan the QR code on your screen. And don't forget, Dayton 24/7 Now is committed to bringing you news as it happens.
We now know this morning experts are now predicting this year's flu season to be the worst it has been in years. Australia is actually coming out of a bad flu season right now, where the age group most impacted was 9 years old and below. Since COVID-19 precautions have relaxed, doctors now fear children's immunity to the flu will be lower than normal.
Typically, the trend is what happens down in Australia tends to work its way up, and then as people start to travel more, which they are now, the spread of this is going to be pretty significant. We're expecting.
Doctors are now urging you to get the COVID-19 vaccine if you haven't already. If you feel sick, contact your doctor. You're more than likely going to be tested for both COVID-19 and the flu.
All right, let's take a look at who's going back to school today. Bethel local schools heading back. Springfield's heading back for grades 1 through 9. And Troy, as Alex just mentioned moments ago, is heading back as well.
This morning we're waking up to a pretty chilly start to the day for those that are headed back to school this morning. It's not too bad though. Otherwise, it's actually feeling a little, oh my goodness, I almost dropped the clicker. A little like late August now that we're coming up on September in the next week or so. It's crazy to think, but temperatures are in those lower 60s with dew points in the mid 50s as well. Right now we're getting a look at our Doppler radar, which has nothing on it, not even a cloud in the sky. It's actually a very clear morning out there too, and that holds true even through this afternoon. Most of us will end up topping out today in the lower 80s, feeling a little bit warmer though than yesterday, and that sun doesn't rise until 6:57 with an 8:20 sunset. So we are getting close to 7 a.m. sunrises time, and then also seeing a little bit of that earlier sunset as well as we head into the fall months here. September 1st marks the start to meteorological fall. Right now, taking a live look at our roadways across the Miami Valley. An easy start to the day out there. We have some patchy fog, but it's not super dense compared to the last few mornings, so no issues on visibility concerns today.
Right now, law enforcement officers from here in Ohio all the way south to Florida are on the lookout after a missing person was found dead in a shallow grave in Darke County on this chicken farm you see right here behind me. Now, investigators are calling this an active homicide investigation. They've identified Dean Baker and Ashley Fletcher as suspects. Warrants are out for both of them right now, and authorities say they are on the run, armed and dangerous. Baker right now charged with tampering with evidence. Fletcher charged with having weapons under disability. To read more about this story and others like it, head to Dayton247now.com.
This morning, we now know the name of the person whose body was found at the Shiloh Court Apartments in Trotwood. The coroner identified the body of Elijah Stallings, but couldn't say how old he was or where he is from. Before police found Stallings, they discovered blood in and around a car in the area. If you have any information that can help police, call Crime Stoppers at 937-222-STOP. We also have a link on our website to submit an anonymous tip.
6:06 is our time right now. Don't forget your headlines are scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
I'm Angela Brown in Washington, D.C. A new alert coming from two social media giants concerning user data and what governments want to know.
And a letter from the National Archives posted online, details from the documents found at Mar-a-Lago and the timeline of the investigation with the DOJ.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
This morning, we are waking up to an easy start to the day for those maybe taking the kids out to the bus stop this morning. Right now, everything is moving along nicely as we don't have any weather concerns either. But once we hit the end of our day today, there is going to be a little bit of a higher level of heat and humidity just because our approaching frontal system. So today, most of us are sitting in an area of high pressure. What that means is we have clear skies. We're not experiencing any issues when it comes to that heat or humidity around. But by the end of the day, that high pressure system moves out and the replacement is an approaching cold front. And as that moves in, we typically feel some warmer air ahead of it. By the end of the day, though, most of us today are sitting in the mid 70s and 80s again. So it gets a degree or two warmer than it was yesterday, but we do have a fairly cool morning out there right now. Sunshine's expected through most of the afternoon too. A few passing clouds can't be ruled out, but for the most part, it will be a beautiful day to be outside and enjoying another fairly comfortable morning. Right now, a live look at 35 and South Perry Street. Right now, everything looks pretty good. We're seeing a few more people out there getting their day started, so commutes might pick up a little bit more in the next few minutes or so. But otherwise, no slowdowns, delays, or major changes in traffic patterns to welcome you out the door right now.
6:11 our time right now. Renovations right now underway at the Dayton Convention Center. Who's spearheading the project and how much money is being spent?
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
This morning, we're getting a new look at what former President Trump may have taken with him to Mar-a-Lago. Commenter John Solomon posted a letter from the National Archives, and according to that letter, the archives retrieved more than 100 documents back in January. The letter confirms it included some of the government's most classified information. The archives then gave those materials to the DOJ to determine if its handling could have put the country at risk. Solomon's a writer who's also serving as a Trump liaison to the archives to review papers from his presidency.
This morning, we're hearing from Dr. Anthony Fauci for the first time about his plans for retirement. Fauci says he'll leave the federal government in December. Some of Fauci's Republican critics have suggested he's looking to dodge investigations into his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. Fauci refutes the idea.
Oh, Neil, not at all. Not even a little bit. I mean, I have nothing to hide, and I can defend everything I've done and every decision I've made. So I'm not afraid of that at all. That didn't even come in as a minor consideration.
Now, Fauci says he'd be open to testifying as a private citizen if he were asked to do so.
This morning, we're finally starting to see a little bit of a clearing pattern taking place out on our sky camera. This is a live look out there right now where you can actually see a little bit of that sunshine, even a few stars visible on our camera here too. The moon looked really cool this morning. If it's still visible, you definitely should get out there and take a look at it too. We're in the lower 60s right now, though it's a little cooler. We got dew points in the mid 50s, so still a little bit less humid at that too. So we're not seeing fog this morning either. Nothing to report on radar. We actually have an area of high pressure, and what that means for us is it's quiet, it's cooler, and it will be a little drier for the day before we ultimately feel increased humidity tomorrow and then into the weekend as well. We're in the mid to upper 80s by the end of the day today, staying sunny essentially all day long. 55 in Wapak and in Sydney, 56 over in Eaton. We got 61 in Dayton, and right now as we head out the door, it is a little cooler, so I do recommend maybe a light jacket as you start your day off today. Few clouds do increase by the end of the day, but we're not talking any overcast skies. Most of us will hit the lower to mid 80s, and then we'll head into tomorrow morning back in the lower 60s at times, finishing the day off tomorrow again in the mid 80s too. That area of high pressure we were just talking about will eventually build its way out over the next few days. And as that does move out, our next chance for some light rain showers arrive early Friday morning into Friday afternoon. But otherwise, we're not talking any major significant rainfall until about the start of next week. So Saturday and Sunday do heat up a little bit more. By Monday, we're sitting near 90 degrees, seeing those storm chances return Monday and Tuesday. Right now, that live look at 35 and South Perry Street again. A little bit busier at last check from now, so just know that we are still seeing more and more people making their way out the door today. We don't have any other concerns otherwise out there on our roads at this hour, but if you are commuting to Cincinnati this morning, here's a look at our Triple Team traffic report.
Good morning. If you're commuting from Dayton to the Cincinnati area, I do have some ramp closures to let you know about if you travel in the late night, early morning hours tonight from 10 p.m. until 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. The ramp from Coleraine Beekman onto 74 eastbound will be closed. The detour there, you can either use 74 up to Montana to get back onto 74, or you could go up to the Hopple Street exit using Beekman. Also, the ramp from Hopple Street onto 75 northbound will be closed during that time, and they'll have the detour sign there posted to get you around it. I'm Jen Dalton with Triple Team Traffic. Have a good day.
Topping this morning's Dayton Business Journal headlines, renovations on the Dayton Convention Center are officially underway. Dayton-based LWC and LMC out of Seattle are spearheading the architectural team. LWC has worked on several projects here in the Dayton area previously, including the restoration of Victoria Theater and the Arcade Square. $31 million is going into this renovation. To read more about this story and others like it, head to Dayton247now.com and click on the News tab and select Dayton Business Journal.
A new alert from two social media giants as governments around the world increase demands for user information. Dayton 24/7 Now's national desk Angela Brown explains.
Lost in the headlines of the on-again, off-again deal between Twitter and Elon Musk is this new report from Twitter. The social media giant revealing it fielded a record number of legal demands, nearly 60,000 during a 6-month period last year, from local, state, or national governments that wanted Twitter to remove content from accounts or reveal confidential information, such as direct messages or user location.
Yeah, there's certainly cause for concern if you think about transparency and you want to understand what the government is doing, how they're doing it, why they're taking down notices.
Arrest Lieberman is a cybersecurity expert and says while the increase in requests are concerning, it could benefit Americans.
For example, requests to take down terrorist activity, social media posts, requests to talk about child pornography, sexual activity that's illegal, distribution of narcotics.
But the Committee to Protect Journalists is raising red flags. Twitter also reporting a 103% increase in legal demands from governments targeting verified journalists and news outlets between July and December last year. The executive director of the Committee to Protect Journalists telling the Associated Press the surge in government demands for content takedowns and information on journalists is part of a global trend of increasing censorship and manipulation of information.
Meta, the parent company of Facebook, also reporting during the last 6 months of 2021, global government requests for user data increased by 2%, with the U.S. submitting the largest number of requests. In Washington, D.C., I'm Angela Brown.
The Community Blood Center right now rewarding donors with treats, gifts, and prizes, all in hopes of avoiding the typical summer shortage. Anyone who registers to donate by this Friday will get free cotton candy and a $10 gift card for Speedway or Kroger. If you register to donate by Saturday, you'll be entered into the grand prize drawing to win 4 tickets to the Reds versus Rockies game, plus $100 in concession stand gift cards. And everyone who registers this week to donate with the CBCs entered into a final drawing. The winner will get to choose from a PlayStation 5 game console, a Solo stove, a Yeti Hopper backpack cooler, or a Ring Video Doorbell Pro. To register or to donate or get more information, visit DonorTime.com. The link's also in our website, Dayton247now.com.
Good morning, everybody. Your time right now is 6:21, and if you are waking up and need a reason to always smile, this is the best part of the show, in my opinion, is the dog of the day today. We today have Tyson as our dog of the day, who looks very, very serious, but I feel like that's the game face. I know we're outside, and there's probably a squirrel or a bird or something knowing these dogs. Now, Tyson was sent in to us from proud owner Dylan and Carly. They live in Arcanum together. By the end of our day today, we're back in the mid to potentially upper 80s, so we are feeling a little bit warmer, a little more humid than our last few days have been. Once we hit the weekend, though, a small chance for showers returns Friday, and what that means for us is, although not everyone will see rain, we will likely end up feeling that increased level of humidity by the weekend. Mid to upper 80s, near 90 degrees Sunday into Monday. Scattered storm chances do return Monday and Tuesday, so a little bit more of an active pattern that will take shape here soon. Definitely keeping us a little bit warmer over the next few days. As you can see, that normal high is 84 degrees. One thing to note too is that the next few days also bring us a moderate level of air quality, so we do have that reduced reduced issues when it comes to air quality concerns due to air pollution. So just something to be aware of over the next few days.
Do you have a tattoo you regret? If so, how about making up for it with one you'll cherish forever? A tattoo of your dog. Online pet product retailer BarkBox will actually pay you to do it, and the company kicked off its free tattoo contest last week. 100 lucky dog owners will be selected. To enter, go to BarkBox website and upload a picture of your dog and explain why you deserve the prize. The contest closes on September 2nd, and winners will be notified by September 6th.
All right, our digital producer Max standing by with a pink shirt with bananas on and a poll question for all of you today. So we want to know, Max, what are you asking?
So today is National Waffle Day, and you guys have spoken about this. Admittedly, I'm making myself a bit of a villain today. The question is, are waffles better than pancakes? I don't think so.
I do.
Oh,
100%.
Yeah. There's a crispiness.
Yeah.
Why would you ask, hey, can I get a pancake, but could you make it hard and dry?
No. The little holes in there, actually, they soak up all the syrup and
They
stuff.
secure the syrup.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
we're about to fight.
You don't need to secure this. On a pancake, you just put it there. It just sits there.
No.
Look, you can make like all sorts of things with a waffle maker. What can you do with you can just make pancakes. Like,
you can cover a sausage in a pancake and put it on a stick.
Well, here's the thing. We're not debating like what to do with a waffle maker. We're debating waffles versus pancakes. So that's
but they
kind
took
of not fair.
you know what? They took the world's greatest food, French fries, and decided they wanted to make a waffle version of it because waffles are that much better than pancakes.
Would you not want a pancake version of a French fry? I would argue is a hash brown like the ones at McDonald's. Big flat ones.
I don't know.
Well, Nathan, I think he's got you there.
Okay, well, besides our arguing, we want to hear what you have to say.
Let us know on our Facebook page.
Pancakes or waffles, which ones are
Keep
better?
the conversation going. It looks like we've got a nice little conversation already, but we'll get back to Max here in a little bit to find out what you're saying.
Man, you are evil.
He is.
Man.
He is.
All right, our time right now is 6:25, still to come.
Tomas votes waffles. I vote both, by the way. Troy City schools are returning to the classroom this morning. Coming up next, we're going to talk about changes families should know heading into the school year.
And a big decision for President Biden this morning. Student loans in the spotlight. How much is at stake and what it'll mean for the midterm elections?
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
Here's 3 quick stories you're seeing on social media right now. The DOJ launching a civil rights investigation into the conduct of 3 Arkansas police officers. The officers were caught on video over the weekend kicking and punching a suspect while he was on the ground.
And families in Uvalde, Texas, now filing a class action lawsuit for $27 billion. The suit goes after multiple law enforcement agencies who were on the scene during the massacre.
And NASA giving the go-ahead for the first moon launch since the 1960s. Artemis 1's expected to take off next Monday. Now to our top story, a live look at the White House. President Biden expected to forgive thousands in student loans. Multiple sources say he plans to likely forgive $10,000 for borrowers making less than $125,000. The halt on repayments could possibly be extended through midterm elections. This will be the 5th pandemic-related pause. Frozen payments are set to end in a week. The U.S. has $1.6 trillion worth of student loan debt right now.
And this morning, students head back to school in the city of Troy, and there's a few changes that parents need to know about.
Dayton 24/7 Now's Alex King is live outside of Troy High School. And Alex, what do families need to know about school lunches?
Well, during the pandemic, the USDA issued waivers to child nutrition programs, allowing schools to offer free meals. And Troy City Schools took full advantage by providing breakfast and lunch to all of its students. But these waivers are expired at the end of June. And now child nutrition programs are returning to pre-pandemic operations.
And so, Alex, how can families get help paying for meals if it's still needed?
You know, this leaves many families feeling vulnerable, but Troy City Schools is asking parents to complete a free reduced meal application that will help with negative meal balances as well as unpaid school fees. The application is currently available online to parents and guardians, and the district suggests applying as soon as possible. It can either be submitted online or printed and turned into any Troy City school. And you'll find details on our website, Dayton247now.com. Stay with us because we're going to talk about some additions this school year here in Troy. Live in Troy, Alex King, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Right now, doctors are urging parents to get their kids the flu vaccine. Cases are already popping up across the Miami Valley. Experts predict this year's flu season to be the worst it's been in years. The U.S. bases its trends on Australia. Now, Australia's flu season was severe. Doctors are also urging you to get your COVID-19 vaccine.
Right now, we're waking up to a beautiful sunrise out there this morning. If I can pop that correct graphic up for you. We do have a really nice start to the day, especially compared to yesterday where we did see a little bit of cloud cover in the morning and that dense fog too. Right now, not seeing fog as a problem. Lower 60s out there, dew points in the mid 60s. We have a little bit of a breeze. Not too bad. Here's a live look at Doppler radar. We're seeing those roost rings yet again because it's nice and clear. We don't have any cloud cover kind of blocking those radar beams. Now, if you are out at the bus stop here soon, maybe taking the kids out there very, very early on this morning, it is chilly. I just got the goosebumps thinking about going back outside. Now, just know that you want to maybe pack it with a light jacket, but by the end of the day today, those mid 80s are back, so we're warming right back up. We're getting a bit warmer, and we're seeing that sunshine today. Otherwise, mid to upper 50s and lower 60s, definitely feeling chilly for us out there. Right now, it is an easy morning commute with no issues to report this morning either, so drive time speeds everywhere you're headed are on time and good to go.
Syria now waking up this morning to damage after President Biden ordered airstrikes against Iranian-backed groups in the region. These airstrikes targeted facilities used by groups affiliated with Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. This comes just a week after several rockets struck near a Syrian military base housing U.S. troops. That attack left no damage.
A live look at Kalamazoo, Michigan. 2 men could soon be facing life in prison after a federal jury yesterday convicted them of conspiring to kidnap and kill Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer back in 2020. Prosecutors say Adam Fox and Barry Croft wanted to set off a civil war. The kidnapping of Governor Whitmer was part of their plan. The defense claimed the FBI entrapped their clients. This is the second time Fox and Croft were tried. The first one ended in a mistrial for Fox and Croft and an acquittal for the other 2 defendants.
We're alerting this morning a 21-year-old Dayton man is now charged with murder. Prosecutors say Eric Bridges stabbed Samuel Osborne on the front porch of a home on Chelsea Avenue during an argument. Bridges now faces 2 counts of murder, felonious assault with a deadly weapon, and felonious assault causing serious physical harm. And a live look this morning at the Miami Valley Jail's website right now. You can see Bridges is right now sitting in a Montgomery County jail cell on a $1 million bond.
This morning, we're learning why Stephen Marlowe was taken off probation. Right now, he's accused of killing 4 people in Butler Township. In February 2020, Marlowe was convicted of burglary and sentenced up to 5 years probation. He only served 2, and officials tell us that's because he was compliant, in good standing, paid his court fees, took his medications, and was employed. This Friday, he's due in court.
A Springfield hockey rink is hosting a face-off between Ohio first responders. Proceeds benefit the Deputy Matthew Yates Memorial Scholarship, which was named after Deputy Yates, who was killed responding to a shooting in July. The NTPRD Chiller Ice Rink will host the Hockey Helping Heroes initiative of the First Responder Face-Off Foundation on October 8th. The charity hockey game is between the Dayton Fire hockey team and the FOP 109 Warthogs team from Wood County. Puck drop for the game is slated for 4:45.
Happening today, Family Resource Center is hosting a grand opening and open house at their new Troy campus. Everyone is encouraged to attend and tour the facility to learn more about their mental health and substance abuse services. They have outpatient counseling via telehealth, case management, and transitional age youth services available. This expansion was possible because of a $5 million grant from the Substance Use and Mental Health Services Administration.
Our time right now is 6:36. Don't forget your headlines are scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
We're going to introduce you to a sweet and loving 10-year-old boy who just loves music. What he's looking for in a family just ahead. And grant me hope.
Plus, a new segment, Dayton 24/7 Now's Adam Arrow highlights a hometown hero who's inspiring in Springfield and how you can nominate your own hero.
But first, here's Genevieve Porter with America's Steals and Deals.
The following segment is sponsored by Knocking.
You guys, what are 2 things you lose the most? It's your keys and it's your phone. And it's so frustrating. I know this because I spend hours every day looking for these items. So listen up. You don't want to miss this buy one, get one exclusive deal on the Keysmart Pro. Now, the Keysmart Pro organizes up to 14 keys in one little device. Literally every guy on the set has one in his pocket right now. And as we are setting up this display, people were actually trying to take them. So my advice is buy this now for everyone you love because they're not going to last. It takes all those keys in the drawer, the bottom of your purse, and puts them right into one little thing, and it connects to a free app. So if you lose your keys, you press the button on the app. You lose your phone, you press the button on the keychain. Even if your phone is on silent, you can find it. It's a win-win. They find each other, guys. You know how many hours this saves us? For me, like probably 6 hours a day. I bet you have someone in your life that needs one of these. My family literally impersonates me by putting on a pair of sunglasses and saying, "Where's my phone? Where's my keys?" And now with this buy one, get one free deal, it's the perfect time to get one for you, someone you love, in all of these great colors. Remember, this is a buy one, get one free. Do not wait. Go to asadeals.com.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
Why are sunsets so red in the summer? Wildfires, unfortunately, have become all too popular during western summers. Smoky skies help filter out blue and violet short wavelengths. Red light, that has a long wavelength. That red light, it's able to cut through the smoky skies in addition to being able to cut through several more layers of the atmosphere as it sits lower in the sky.
Live from the Watson's Weather Patio this morning, we are starting off right now pretty clear, but actually pretty chilly right now. A little bit cooler than we were at this point yesterday. We're sitting in the lower 60s, seeing those clear skies. That sun officially rises at 6:57 a.m. So we're still pretty far off from getting some more of that official clear sunny sky about 15 minutes from now. Mid to upper 50s in our northern counties. All the rest of us are kind of sitting in the lower 60-degree point. So no matter where you're at, it's feeling a little bit cooler than yesterday out here. That humidity level is lower though, so that's going to make a bit of a difference too. We aren't seeing any major fog concerns out there right now either. But once we hit this afternoon, temperatures do warm up a little bit more. We are back by the end of the day today, sitting in the mid-80s, seeing that sunshine across the board today too. It doesn't really look like we're anticipating any major overcast skies. A few clouds develop this evening, but that's about it. So coming up in a few minutes, I'll break down all the details you need to know about the rest of the week.
At any given time, there's more than 600 kids in foster care in Montgomery County. Now, the goal, of course, is always to reunite them with their families, but some can never go back home, and now they're up for adoption.
Dayton 24/7 Now has teamed up with Greene Hope to help. And this morning, we want to introduce you to Madison, who's right now looking for a family.
Madison is a 10-year-old boy who loves hugs and loves to dance and jump. It's one of his favorite activities is the jungle gym at the parks, to climb and to run and play in the jungle gym. And the water park. He loves the water park as well. He likes chocolate. He has some words, and so then chocolate is one of the words that he'll say, which lets us know that. So Madison also loves music and dancing and jumping. But he does like the songs. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it. So he really be ready because it says move it, and he is going to move, and he's going to want you to move with him. So that's one of his favorite songs, and he likes jumping and dancing to that. It would be really great for Madison just to have a forever home where he can learn and grow. The type of parents that would be best suited would be patient and affectionate, high energy, because Madison has a lot of energy.
Now you can find out more about Madison and other kids who are up for adoption right now at Dayton247now.com.
Every week we're going to feature another child in our Dayton 24/7 Now's Greene Hope profiles.
This morning we are waking up to a beautiful start to the day. Very sunny out there right now. As you can see, some clear skies. We do have the lower 60s around, dew points in the mid 60s at this point too. It's a little breezy out there, a little chilly too, still a little cool from being outdoors, but we right now aren't seeing anything on Doppler radar besides those roost rings we've been talking about all morning. Once we hit this afternoon, the mid 80s are back though, so we are anticipating a little bit of a warmer finish to the day with those clear skies essentially all day long today too. Mid to upper 50s, lower 60s right now. Once we hit the mid-afternoon, most of us are in the upper 70s and then finishing the day off today in the lower to mid 80s, so a little warmer than it was yesterday. Still sitting staying nice and clear even overnight tonight and into the start of the morning tomorrow. We have an area of high pressure. What that means is it's quiet. It's a little cooler for now and drier for now, because once we hit the end of the week, that's when we end up seeing another chance for some rain showers very quick on Friday as that approaching cold front moves in. That will also push some very warm air ahead of it. So we have a chance for that rain on Friday. By Saturday and Sunday, we're in the mid to upper 80s, feeling that increase in humidity. It will not be comfortable by Sunday, and then especially into Monday. Either way, we do have those storm chances in the forecast too. Storms will stick around Monday into Tuesday, and then beyond that point, though, we drop. So temperatures do get a little bit nicer and a little cooler through the end of next week. So we'll power through a hot and humid, but a drier weekend when it comes to rain chances. So we don't have a lot to be worried about for this weekend at least. Right now, you're getting a live look at 75 just south of Dryden Road, where we do have, this is 75 southbound as well, a crash that's being reported right now, causing some minor delays at this point. We're looking at about a 5 to 10 minute delay for anyone that is traveling on the southbound 75 lanes from downtown Dayton, Moraine area to the Miamisburg exits there. So this, again, our only incident at this hour, and again, causing about a 5 to 10 minute delay for anyone that is planning on heading out the door.
And this morning, we are starting a new way to spotlight those in our community who are making a difference.
We're calling it Hometown Heroes, and Adam Arrow introduces you to someone that's made a major impact on a local family's life.
We are kicking off our Hometown Heroes segment highlighting a Clark County Sheriff's deputy. Jim Lyle nominated his brother Sean Lyle, and he specifically highlighted a story shared by Danielle Hudson Finch. She says her ex-husband passed away in 2015 when her daughter Trinity was 12. That same year, she met Deputy Lyle, who was serving as a DARE officer. He became someone Finch says was always there for Trinity, and Trinity greatly looked up to him. So fast forward 6 years, and this picture you see here is at Trinity's high school graduation. Deputy Lyle had promised to be there, and he was. Now, part of that Facebook post reads, quote, "I don't think Deputy Sean will ever know how much that not only meant to her, but how much it meant to me and my family. He's an incredible human, a wonderful man, an outstanding DARE officer, and if there was anything that warrants an award for being an outstanding human, it would be an award for Deputy Sean." So thank you, Deputy Lyle, for your service and for being our first hometown hero.
Now, if you have someone you think is a hometown hero, share their story with us. We want to hear it. To nominate them, you can open up your Dayton 24/7 Now app, click on Explore, and press chime in.
All we need is a picture or video of your hero and a description of why they're a hometown hero. The segments will air Wednesday and Friday mornings right here. The Japanese government trying to get its younger population to drink more alcohol. Since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, the country's liquor tax revenues have dropped due in part to less sales at bars and other establishments. And a live look at Tokyo this morning. Excuse me. Japanese officials have launched the Sake Viva campaign for ideas for getting more people to drink up. Contestants have until September 9th to submit applications. The winning plan will be backed and commercialized. Not everyone is on board. Some people have commented on social media that encouraging people to drink could lead to problems down the road.
Interesting fun fact, my husband actually went to Japan, and he was in Tokyo because he used to work for a company that was owned by Honda. And he said they do drink quite a bit, not gonna lie.
They like to party.
They do, and they took him out on like the last night he was in Japan, and so like they're 13 hours ahead of us. And so I called him, so it's like 11 o'clock in the morning here, it's like 11, 12 o'clock at night in Japan, and he had just gotten home from going out, and he was a little tipsy, and he was like chanting USA in the hotel room by himself. He's like, I had to show them what we could do, and I was like, oh my God.
Great,
just
go to bed.
Go to bed.
Yes.
Please go to bed.
Lock the door.
Yes.
Go to
He was
sleep.
literally like, USA, USA. And I was like, oh my God, stop. Please stop.
No, keep it going, Ryan. Keep it going.
It was so funny.
That is funny.
I love
But
it.
he had a great time, and he said the culture is just amazing there.
I love it. Drink up Japan. On time right now, 6:50 coming up on Dayton 24/7 Now News at 7 on Fox 45. Bengals making a big move. Who sign up for one more year, and how much it's going to cost the AFC champs.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, we are following the latest out of Ukraine. President Zelensky warning that their Independence Day could bring, quote, hideous Russian provocations and brutal strikes. All of this as the war in Ukraine hits the 6-month mark. We're right there on the ground with the latest. And President Biden is expected to make an announcement about student loans. Is another round of relief on the way? We're going to have that and so much more right here on Good Morning America.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Good Morning America is up next.
Here's a look, though, at today's top local stories. Right now, Troy City Schools returning to the classroom this morning, welcoming in 24 new teachers. Some changes, though, that you need to know about. Child nutrition programs are returning to pre-pandemic operations, so no more free breakfasts and lunches. And the district is offering free and reduced meal applications. They ask you to fill them out as soon as possible.
And a live look at the White House at this hour. The president today expected to make an announcement about student loans. Multiple sources are now saying the plan would likely forgive $10,000 for borrowers making less than $125,000 a year.
And the seasonal flu expected to be the worst in the past few years. The U.S. bases its trends on Australia, the island coming out of its severe flu season right now. Doctors now urging you to get both the flu and COVID vaccine as soon as possible and to take precautions.
Right now, you're getting a live look at an incident here, 75 southbound at Dryden Road. That has a little bit of a delay associated with it. Cars are able to get past, so it doesn't seem like it's a huge problem at this point, but definitely still something that we're going to keep a close eye on. Otherwise, weather-wise, we are sitting very comfortable over the next few days before the heat and humidity returns. Once we hit Sunday into Monday, by Monday into Tuesday, though, storm chances also develop. So we are expecting to see a little bit more of an active start to next week, which will ultimately, in turn, kind of cool things back down a little more as well.
Heating back up.
Yeah, heating up to cool back down.
Yeah, just a little bit of that brief warm up though, and we're still technically in August. Mid 80s is normal. This isn't. I think it might be one of our last heat, very high heat at least. We'll still be warm, but
still
just
be
not
warm. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, Hobby Lobby disagrees.
They've already got their fall.
I know. I think We're about a week out from PSLs at Starbucks too.
Yeah.
So
I love the whole like TikTok trend right now is like a little breeze and people are getting their scarves and sweaters.
Oh my God, they're so funny.
It's so funny. It cracks me up.
They're like, "Ooh, give me my PSL. Here we
I
go.
know.
It's
my
spooky
fiance,
season."
he
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh.
as soon as we had like a mid 70-degree day and rain, broke out the pumpkin candles. So
I believe it.
Yes, queen.